man, I tell you guys, man, what is going on, y'all? I hope everybody is doing well, man. Welcome back to the show. That 2024 is treating you well, man. We're living in the most darkest, craziest times yet, man. The biggest history yet. And we're gonna bring the news to you, man. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna spread love to one another, man. God is love, y'all. And I want to tell you that I love you. As you can see by the title, boy. Oh boy, boy. Boy. They say for a Democrat to be charged, you know it's bad. Yeah. Told y'all, man. This thing's just going, man. Oh. You just can't, I'm telling y'all, you just can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't make this stuff up. The CNN not showing the case, I wonder why. Oh, man, you can't make this stuff up, man. Boy. What are they talking about in the comments? Traitor! This is why no one should hold any office for more than 8 years. Man, sounds like Joe. Oh, boy. He just admitted the rest of the senators are doing the same thing. Boy, the Dems got him off the first time. Look at these comments, man. That man's probably never known an honest day in his work life. Oh boy, I tell you, and the one thing I love about them Patriots, oh boy, we don't sugarcoat it. We call it for what it is. But this is coming from my brother Wise, man. My brother Wise, I will leave the original link in the description box down below at Righteous Perspective. But my brother Wise, man, dropped an amazing video, so let's go and check it out. And I want to send a huge shout out to my brother Joseph for sending this to me and bringing it to my attention, even though I already watched the reporting on it already. But let's go and check it out.
Obviously, I'm deeply, deeply disappointed by the jury's decision. I have every faith that the law and the facts did not sustain that decision and that we will be successful upon appeal. I have never violated my public oath. I have never been anything but a patriot of my country and for my country. I have never, ever been a foreign agent, and the decision rendered by the jury today would put at risk every member of the United States Senate in terms of what they think a foreign agent would be.
More Democrats in total disarray. Longtime Democrat Senator from New Jersey, Bob Menendez, was found guilty yesterday on all charges. 16 counts in his corruption trial.
Let's go to Eric Shawn. So we have the verdict. Now we know what it is. Eric Shawn, live for us at the Manhattan Federal Court. Eric.
Yes, Harris, guilty. All defendants found guilty on count 1 and 2. We're being told right now from the courtroom. This means New Jersey's senior senator, Robert Menendez, who is seeking re-election as an independent, has been convicted of conspiracy to commit bribery and conspiracy to commit honest services wire fraud, along with 2 New Jersey businessmen. As we have been reporting, he was able to skip out and avoid this type of conviction in his last corruption trial, in which it ended in a hung jury. But Robert Menendez, the senior senator from New Jersey, longtime Democrat for decades, in power in the Garden State, former chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee in the Senate, convicted, guilty, according to this, for selling his office, as prosecutors said, for power. He was accused of helping the government of Egypt as well as the government of Qatar, acting indeed as a foreign agent of the Egyptian government in exchange for bribes. Those bribes, prosecutors said, $480,000 in cash, found strewn all over his house, according to the FBI, even in his jacket pockets, in clothes, in boxes, as well as those 13 gold bars found in the closet of his wife, Nadine Menendez, who was also charged. Mrs. Menendez, though, her trial postponed indefinitely because she suffers from breast cancer. But so far, it seems a sweeping victory for the government at this time. At least 3 through 5, Menendez is guilty. So far, the senator from New Jersey is getting a total conviction sweep by the federal prosecutors. Convicted of conspiracy to commit bribery, count 1, conspiracy to commit honor services fraud, conspiracy to commit extortion under the color of official right. That's the actual charge, that he extorted these businessmen in order to be part of this scheme. Counts 6 through 8 guilty. There are 16 counts relating to Menendez, 18 related to the other two defendants who are the businessmen. So you have actions to benefit the businessmen guilty, services, wire fraud guilty, conspiracy to commit obstruction of justice. That is when a prosecutor said he sent an attorney in to try and explain all this before he was charged. They deemed that obstruction of justice, that he was trying to prevent him being charged. He was also charged with trying to obstruct a federal prosecution of one of his co-defendants, a businessman. Basically, Harris, prosecutors laying out a corrupt 9 through 12 guilty, so we have almost a clean sweep of guilty verdicts here at this courthouse so far.
Menendez has long been seen as a powerful figure within the Democratic Party, but his whole career has been tainted by repeated allegations and accusations of corruption. A typical Democrat. A jury found the Democrat senator guilty of bribery, extortion, wire fraud, obstruction of justice, and acting as a foreign agent. This isn't the first time Menendez has faced legal trouble. He has a history of navigating through political scandals like no other. The verdict is a staggering blow for the Democratic establishment in New Jersey, where longtime state power broker George Norcross faces a separate racketeering indictment as well. Menendez, one of the most feared and influential figures in state politics, now faces decades in prison. And further questions about how he wielded his power as the former chairman in Foreign Relations Committee. Despite numerous corruption allegations over the years, Menendez has often portrayed himself as a victim of political persecution, as Democrats usually do on the rare chance that someone actually investigates them. Bob Menendez, who filed to run for re-election last month, represents the epitome of the political sleaze and corruption. The double standard in our justice system is glaringly evident. But the fact that Menendez, a high-ranking Democrat, has finally been held accountable is rare and a quite significant moment. It begs the question, if this is what we uncover about a senator, what might we find if we take a closer look at the Biden crime family? The implications of Menendez's role on the Foreign Relations Committee are particularly troubling, considering the sensitive nature of the information and decisions he was privy to. We need more of this. Menendez's conviction should be the beginning, not the end, of a broader investigation into political corruption. The Democrats have been masters at covering up their misdeeds, but the tide is turning. With Trump's cases being dismissed one after another, it's clear that justice is slowly prevailing. Trump is free, and those who should have been behind bars long ago are finally starting to get caught. Senator Menendez isn't half as corrupt as the Biden crime family. If Menendez's corruption is this blatant, imagine the skeletons hiding in Biden's closet. Hunter Biden's laptop shows very similar crimes to what Bob Menendez is being charged with. How does Biden's payment from foreign countries while he was vice president in charge of Ukraine differ from Menendez's corruption case? But let's not forget, this isn't just about Menendez. This is a signal that we need to clean house across the board. The Democrats have been getting away with too much for too long. It's time for a thorough investigation into the corruption that has plagued their ranks. The American people deserve better. And speaking of pleasant surprises, let's talk about John Fetterman for a moment. Senator Fetterman called for Menendez to resign a couple of months ago after he was charged. Check this out.
And you've also been calling to get rid of Menendez, I know. But first, before we talk about that, what's your reaction to the expulsion?
Well, it's like I'm not surprised, but to me, I think the more important picture is that we have a colleague in the Senate that actually did much more sinister and serious kinds of things. Senator Menendez, he needs to go. And if you are going to expel Santos, how can you allow to somebody like Menendez to remain in the Senate? And Santos's kind of lies were almost funny, and he landed on the moon and that kind of stuff. Whereas, I think, Menendez, I think, is really a senator for Egypt, not New Jersey. So I really think he needs to go. And especially, it's kind of strange that if Santos is not allowed to remain in the House, someone like that. Yeah.
Are you, though, uncomfortable with the fact that there hasn't been an adjudication, that while he's been charged, there hasn't been a conviction? With Menendez.
I am. And it's like he has the right for his day in court and all that, but he doesn't have the right to have those kind of votes and things that's not a right. And I think we need to make that kind of decision to send him out.
There you have it. Got to give credit where credit is due. Fetterman had quite
on the spew. Cackling hens. Oh boy.
The arc. Not sure how I feel about it, but I think I'm here for it. And he's kind of right here. 105 Republicans joined Democrats in kicking New York's George Santos out of the House of Representatives following what they called a scathing ethics report. Now, I know us Republicans like to try to do the right thing, but come on, we often lose sight of the bigger picture. We join Democrats on kicking Santos out for what? To lose a seat? And especially when what Santos did was, in my opinion, nowhere near as egregious as what Menendez did. Anyway, leave it to the GOP to shoot themselves in the foot sometimes. But this goes to show the double standard when we see how Democrats rally to protect their own until they absolutely can't anymore. But even Democrats have to now turn on Menendez after his guilty verdict. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has now joined the chorus calling for Menendez to step down. This is a clear sign that the evidence against Menendez is too overwhelming to ignore. When the crime is so blatant, even his own party can't shield him anymore. I personally think he should have been kicked out a long time ago.
Yep.
I mean, even John Fetterman could see it. But the reason I don't think he was kicked out earlier is because too many members of the Senate could have went down with what Menendez did. How do you think they're all millionaires on a congressional salary? But this is pretty good news, folks. It means that walls are starting to close in on the corrupt elements within the Democratic Party. And there sure are a lot of it. The more they are exposed, the more the American people will see the truth. The Democrats have long portrayed themselves as the party of the people, but cases like Menendez make the level of their corruption and abuse of power clear as day. This is just the beginning. We need to stay vigilant and keep pushing for the truth. The corrupt must be exposed and justice must be served. If you're tired of the double standards and want to see more accountability in our political system, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.
Shout out to my brother, man. Make sure y'all go down below and check him out. My brother Wise, man, at Write Your Perspective. Link is in the description box. But hit it right on the nail. Hit it right on the nail, man. Right on the nail. We told y'all what was going to happen, and as you can see, man, their wall is falling down, man. And we're stacking ours. You know, we're putting new cement down, baby. We're passing and patient. You know what I mean? You know, it's been a crazy. I tell you, man. We're living in the most biggest history yet. Some of the most darkest times, craziest times, man. You know, and everything is happening so fast. But I told y'all, man, the truth must shine in the light for the good and for the bad. I keep telling y'all this, man. And it's just the truth, man. For real. Let me know what y'all think of this. Comment down below. I love you guys, man. I am wishing the best in all you guys' life. And hey, I will catch you beautiful people in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.